Hi, everybody. Welcome to Back to Basics Weight Loss Surgery channel. My name is Jane. My name is MissJaniehere here on YouTube. And I was invited to substitute for Pam and Tony, who couldn't do their regular Wednesday vlog. So, the opposite sex. Well, what can I tell you about that? If you're a girl, boys can get you into a lot of trouble. And if you're a boy, girls can get you into a lot of trouble. So, okay, here it is. I'm trying to decide whether I should give you some backstory on me. For those of you who don't know me and don't know my story, I am somebody who created her fat suit. I created my fat suit specifically to avoid attention from the opposite sex. For reasons that I've already discussed many times on my channel, and I'm not even going to go there anymore, but just needless to say, I was afraid of men, and I was afraid of myself, to be honest, of both things. And so I created a fat suit to protect me. I got sick, so I couldn't keep my fat suit. Had gastric bypass in 2008. And so I've been living in maintenance since 2009, since 10 months after surgery, March of 2009. And so I lost my weight very fast, too fast for the brain to catch up with it. And let me tell you, it's been a ride. When I had my surgery, I think I had been married for 13 years. My husband and I have always been a team, and we have been the best of friends. Always been the best of friends. He's always been my best friend from day one. And we entered our marriage as a team with our rules and what we thought, we wanted our marriage to be like. I had been married before, so I knew what it was like to fail at a marriage. And I wasn't interested in that. I didn't want any more failed relationships in my life. And I felt like this person I met, my husband, was offering me a life where I didn't have to worry about failing at a marriage. As funny as that may sound. And so we were married, probably been married 13 years when I had my surgery. And of course, he went through all my sicknesses and all. He was just my rock during those 13 years, helping me raise my kids. Just a whole bunch of stuff. Well, weight loss surgery affected our marriage. We are actually a statistic of weight loss surgery, where we had a very strong marriage and great partners until we had weight loss surgery. We had weight loss surgery. It affected me because I felt like I lost identity, and I was struggling with it quietly. Sometimes I would talk about it, but overall I was quiet about my struggle because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to say. It was uncharted territory. My husband went through his own identity crisis as well, because he went from being a caretaker, somebody who always took care of me, who was there taking care of me for years, to all of a sudden not being needed, basically. That sounds terrible, but that's what happened. He wasn't needed in that way anymore. I didn't need him to take care of me anymore, and he felt lost. So, trying to make a long story short, we checked out. We checked out of the marriage, and we're not even much friends for about a year and a half. Loved him dearly. I know he loved me, but we were just not speaking the same language. And so because we were not speaking the same language, this is what happened. I wanted to eat life. I felt like I could do all these things that I hadn't done before. Run marathons, go to meet and greets, make friends, to go from being a hermit, which is what I'd been for years, to going out and trying to be a social butterfly. It was a big change. And so during that time, I met a lot of people. And I met, somebody in particular that made me wonder about the possibilities of a different life. What would that be like to have a different life? There's something very seductive about attention. When you are used to being invisible, I don't know for the people who had big personalities and were used to always getting attention anyways, but for somebody like me who hid from attention, who was afraid of it, it was a very uncomfortable place to be. It can turn your head. It can. And so it's really easy when you're in such a vulnerable place where, like, many times, I don't know what you've heard from other people, but for me, weight loss surgery is like being born again. And so you start over again. And you have the phases in life again, from infancy to adulthood. But in that time, right when you get to go or close to goal, when you start getting that attention, to me, that's like the adolescent phase, the teenager phase. It's a very selfish phase. And you want to do what you want to do. And it's all about what feels good. And attention feels good. It feels good to have attention. But it doesn't mean it's real. It doesn't mean that just because somebody thinks you look pretty or even wants to sleep with you, it means that they want a relationship with you, that they want a life with you. And so you have to decide what it is that you want. I have to say that what attention does now is, because my MO has always been get attention, stuff my face, gain some weight so people won't look. That has always been my MO before. And still that urge comes now, that every now and then, if we're in a place where I feel vulnerable, that's what I want to do. I want to put my fat suit back on, and I want to be hid, and I want to be kept safe. And that's what it is for me, or was for me, to be safe. But life is not about being safe. Life is about living and taking risks and just doing the best you can with what you know, enjoying every single second. And if you make a mistake, learn the lesson. Learn the lesson that the mistake was there for. That it was that you made a mistake. Learn the lesson so you don't do it again. How will we ever learn if we don't make mistakes? We don't learn by coasting. We learn by falling and picking ourselves up. Know what you want. And I know for me, I wanted a relationship. I wanted a life with somebody. I wanted to be with somebody who wanted to be with me. And in the midst of the hellish time that my husband and I had, we had one conversation. And that's the conversation that saved our marriage. Because in that conversation, he told me that he had made big plans for my old age. And that may not be romantic to you, but it was very romantic to me. And it was the one thing that over time kept resonating in my head, that kept coming back, even though I kept saying, oh, I'm done with this. I'm done. I'm ready to move on. That sentence held me back. And that's the sentence that made me realize I needed to give this man a chance. The journey, it's not easy. There's so many struggles that come with it. From, looking at the scale and seeing a number you don't like. Well, okay, turn that around. You're not a piece of meat. You're not fruits and vegetables. So don't let the number put a value on you. Leave that for the grocery store. And in your relationships, think about what that relationship that you're in means to you. Why did you get in it? Do you care about this person? Does this person care about you? Do you have something that's worth fighting for? And if some stranger tells you you're pretty, all you gotta do is say thank you. Move along. That's all it means. Say thank you and move along. All right. We'll talk to you later. I hope y'all have a great week. I'm sure there's going to be a lot more wonderful things being said about this topic. This is just my take on it. I'm not sure. Totally random. But we'll see you later.